Now to Democratic strategist Kiki McClean and former senior McCain advisor Nancy Pfotenhauer. Nancy, to you first. We are mentioning these McCain margins in these Republican counties in New Jersey that right now Chris Christie is adding to those margins. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that the voters from New Jersey, and that's my home state, I have a deep love and affection for it. The voters in New Jersey are saying this is about the economy, this is about jobs, this is about property taxes. They are rejecting the national context, which has been a government overreach, and basically saying we want a change. And it's look at the independent vote and the way people are voting with their feet, whether it's New Jersey or Virginia. And Virginia's a bellwether state. It's clearly going to be a bad night for Democrats and perhaps a long night for the rest of us.
You know what I can't understand when I look at races like this, and Kiki, maybe you can help me, is what you try to take away from it. Now, you're a Democrat. What do you take away from it?
Well, you know, I take away from it the fact that this is a snapshot of what went on in these individual races on this day. It's what happened in Virginia today. It's what happens in New Jersey tonight. It's what's going to happen in the congressional district in New York that's still also up in the air to some degree. You know, I was the communications director for the Democratic National Committee on this night in 1993, the first election season after Bill Clinton was elected. And Bill Clinton had a tough night that night. Democrats lost everything.
That's right.
And in fact, he went on to have a very successful and accomplished presidency.
Well, he might have, but of course, as you know, Kiki, that presage, what was the 94 landslide for Republicans?
Sure, but I also would point out that for people who want to use today as a mega projection, it's really sort of their own hopes or fears that they're projecting as opposed to what you can really define. Over the next few days, we'll take a look at really maybe what we're finding tonight is the night of independence. And it proves that nobody has a lock on independence, neither Republicans nor Democrats. And I think we ought to be paying attention to this New York congressional seat, too, to see where sort of political leadership is in the Republican Party.
Still, but Nancy, you know, independents were going Barack Obama's way a year ago. And I must stress in both of these polls, Barack Obama is personally very popular. Not as popular, but personally very popular. But this is the first time we've seen a clear split between his popularity and that of Democrats in general. What do you make of that?
Well, bottom line, health care. It has been in the top of the news since August at least. And instead of focusing on creating jobs, the congressional Democrats and Obama, their leader, who remains popular personally, but this is his portfolio that he's choosing to pursue. Instead of trying to create jobs, they are force-feeding the American people with a government expansion of health care that will basically erode the sanctity of the relationship between doctors and patients. We'll spend about $1 trillion and will, quote unquote, pay for some of it with hundreds of billions of dollars of tax increases and penalties.
I don't want political pitches here, but Kiki, I know how you feel about that, and you don't agree. But let me ask you this, Kiki, just from you're a communications expert, we're in that role for Democrats. Do you think it'll be a communications problem for Democrats if they were to lose New Jersey on top of Virginia and a smattering of other races, that communicating spending $1 trillion or more on health care is going to be a tough sales job?
I think when you deal with anything major, it's tough. It has nothing to do with today. But I think what we also see is the president's support is there for the major issues he campaigned on. Voters across the country expect him to deliver, and that's what he's doing. The reality, and Nancy knows this, is Virginia was about a series of issues that are specific to the governor's office and the power that office has. Transportation, a big issue in that state, always been big, and was also big in this campaign. In New Jersey, you have a tough economy, particularly difficult in that state. We'll see. I still think Corzine has a really good chance tonight, and as somebody who's a veteran of a few recounts, I'd tell you not to count it out till it's over.
All right, ladies, I want to thank you both very, very much. I just wanted to focus on the impact of this come tomorrow.